So we continue with data analysis in SQL. So we're going to continue just like we did in Excel. We're going to do descriptive statistics. So the first thing we're going to learn how to do is to carry out our sum. To do our sum, you do select, the code is select sum C13 as total debt from banks. So select, because C13 is actually, let's go back. Let me select the command, do the select command, remove all these ones. To select, to display all the content, we use the select asterisk shift 8 from banks. I run it. So if we double click it and check what is C13, double click it, C13 is actually debt. So you see it here. So what are we trying to say in the code? We said select the sum of the debt, which is C13, as total debt. Calculate it as total debt. You can give this any name you like, from banks. So let's write this, right click and copy this, come to SQL, put it here, right click and click paste. If we run it, you see that total debt is this. And like I said, you can give it any name. So if I decide to change this to total in capital letter debt, total debt. See the way I typed it here, I run it. Okay, sorry, it doesn't give a space, so let me put it together. Total debt, run. You can see it, the context has changed here, so but still the same answer. So it's the same thing for average. Here is select average, AVG, sum is SUM. So we do the same thing, right click, click copy, go to SQL, yes, paste it here, then run it. You see we have the mean debt as this. Okay, we continue. We can check for the count, to count how many records, how many numbers of people's debt, countries' debt that was counted. We select this, copy, yes, do the same here, click paste. We run it. You can see count. In the previous record it was 742, but because it added another column, which is the new headings, it has now become 743. So we make progress. You can do for minimum, you can also do for maximum. Now let's take for example, okay, you can also do for range, but let's take for example standard deviation. Let's see whether this will run. Okay, select this from bank, copy it, SQL, run this, click paste. So select the square root of the average of C13, which is the debt, multiply it as C13 minus the average of C13 times the average of C13 as standard deviation. This is the formula to calculate it and run it. So it gives you the standard deviation. Okay, let's run this one too, and also give us what? Variance. Let's see, copy this, copy, run it. Inside this environment, click paste. If we run it, let's see, okay, SQL, no such code as C13. Okay, we can just skip this one for the purpose of time. Now we can check to correct the errors. Let's leave this for now. So let's move on. Let's do them all together, which is the most important thing now. So if we select all this together, all this is the code for it. Let me explain that. Select sum of C13 as total debt, average of C13 as average debt, minimum of C13 as minimum debt, max minus this, which is the range. Range is usually minimum, maximum. Count C13 as a count. The square root, this is the standard deviation and the variance. So you have to select all. From select, come to banks, right click, click copy, then come here, paste it here, Control V, Okay, let's run them all together. If you want looking for descriptive statistics, you run it. You can see all of them: total depth, average depth, minimum depth, range depth, count depth, standard deviation, variance. So this is how you run for all of them. Then what's the next thing? So we have done descriptive statistics. One of the also very important things we did in Excel and we also did in Power BI is using pivot tables. So let's see how we can do that in our SQL. So we're going to view the banks by the IRR. So C5 is banks, C7 is RIR. So we simply say select C5 and C7, which is IRR, from banks. So let's copy this. Right click this, click copy, come to SQL, paste it, control, or just click paste here, you run. So you see that you have all your banks and all your real interest rates of each of the banks. Now let's make progress. Now we want to view the banks by IRR in descending or ascending order. If we look at the code, it's the same. Select C567 is the same we used here. From banks is the same. The thing we added is the order by C7, order by the IRR in descending order. In descending order. So I highlight it, right click, click copy, then come here and paste it, and I will now run it. If I run it now, you will discover that the banks are here now. It is now ordered in the real interest rate in descending order from the highest to the lowest. 7.5, 7.57, 7.57, 7.54, 7.54. It keeps going to 7.11. You see that it's good at. If I want to change it in ascending order, I simply remove DE here and I put A, which means ascending order. So I run it again. So it starts from the smallest, Banco, the Africa, and runs down. So that is how you do it if you want to get both ascending and descending order. So the next thing you do is view banks by IRR or descending order. We have done that. Now you can view the first 10 banks just like we did in Excel to get the first best performing banks with their in terms of the real interest rate. So we highlight it here, right click and copy. But quickly, let's look at the code. Is the same. Select this, select C5, C7 from banks, order by descending order. The only thing extra we added is the limit 10 column. So we go to the SQL, come here and we paste it. Then we also run it. When we run it, you will discover now you have only 10 records or 9 records than from the first best 9 records with the best interest rate 7.575 from Bank Atlantic, Bank Commercial, the Burkina Faso, and it continues. You can see it's only for 9 to 10 records showing here. So if you want for 5 records or 4 records, click just type 5, click run. You will see it's only 4 records that shows. So if it's 10 records you put, you will get 9. If you want for 10 records, you put 11. If you want for 5 records, you put 6. If I put 6 here now, 6 here, and I run it, you will see I only have 5 displayed here. 5 displayed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's move on. Yes, the next step now is view count of banks grouped by banks. So we say select C5, counts C5 as bank counts. From banks, group by C5 by banks, order by bank count, descending order, limit by 5. So I highlight it up and I right click here and click copy, go to my SQL and paste it here, Control V. So if I run this code now, you see now What did it give me? Bank the Sahel was counted. The count is 42 times. NISA Bank is 21 times. Aura Bank is 14 times. Versus Bank is 7 times. United Bank for Africa is 7 times. You can see that is the code for that. So we move on. The next thing we need to do is view banks of accounts grouped by banks in descending order. So it's the same thing we did here. So this is I think it's the same code. This is already grouped by C5, order by bank, descending. So if you want it ascending, you just simply change this to ascending and limit it to the number, the first 10 banks. So you can run that code yourself. Let's move on. So view the list of countries with the numbers of banks ordered by, okay, let's expand this, ordered by, let me close this here, ordered from highest to lowest. So you do what? You select this from, you select C4 counts as bank count from banks, C4 by C4, okay? Then user order by bank count, descending order. So if I collect it, I right click it, click copy here, I run the code here, I click paste, select the banks, count them by C5 as bank count from banks, group by C4 which is banks, order by bank description. That you run it, you can see now Cote d'Ivoire had 161, Senegal 140, Mali 91, Burkina Faso 91, Benin 77, Guinea-Bissau country and the rest. So this is how this one works out. Then if we move on, how do we use filters? If you want to select banking records for Mali, you can say select all from banks, where the banks is only for Mali. So if I select this one now, copy, I click copy, come to the SQL, run it, and I click paste here. If I run it, it will select the records only for Mali. Or if you look at here, you see MMMMMA. These are all records for Mali. If I double click it, you discover it's only for Mali. Mali. Now, if I want for another country, select banking records for Mali and for Aura Bank. That is, the country is only Mali and only for Aura banks. So all I need to do is the same code, select from banks, where C4 is Mali and C5 is Aura Bank. So I will just right click here, copy this one, right click and copy. Then come here, I will not change the one on top, I only change this one and click paste. Then what I will do now, click paste here. So I now run it. If I run it here now, I click run. If I run it now, it will say Mali, all the records of Mali for Aura Bank. I say MO, Mali Aura Bank, Mali Aura Bank. So if I double click it here, you have Mali and Aura Bank. Mali and Aura Banks. Those are all the records that will be showing, Mali and Aura Bank. Then what you have next is select banking records from Mali that is not Aura Bank. You can see this record, this code here is from Mali and Aura Bank equals to Aura Bank. The only difference is where C4 is Mali and C5 is not Aura Bank. This is the only thing that changed here. So I can just copy only this command here, right click, click copy, then come here and change here, this one here, and click paste. I run this code. When I run this code now, it will give me the one, both the one that is Mali but not Aura Bank. If I double click now, you see that I have Mali but Bank Atlantic. Mali again, you see Mali again with another one, Echo Bank Mali. So we are making progress. Now select banking records for Mali and Niger. You can run this one yourself. I'll skip to the next one. Now if you want to select for multiple records, let me see the code. You see the code for this one. If you want to run for multiple countries, you can say select all from banks where C4, which is the bank, the country in Mali, Niger, Ghana, Senegal, and the rest. So if I select all this, right click it and copy, come to SQL, run it and paste here, you will see now if I run this code now, it will show me for all the countries from Benin. This is for Benin. This is for Benin. Let me say this is for Mali. The only countries we have here, we use it for Niger. If I double click it, you see this is for Niger. If I double click the one on top, this is for Mali. So all the records. So this is how you select for multiple countries. Then finally, what we'll do here now is how to save. So if you want to save in SQL, simply click the save icon. If you click the save icon, it will simply save the current thing you are doing. So if you see the save icon here, I just click save. You will see that it will save here. Okay, you can see save as SQLite, usually saved in your download file. The same thing, if you want to open, you click open DB. If you go to your downloads, the one you just saved, you can see it now, you can open it. Now, final thing you need to learn is how to export. If you have finished all your editing, all your analysis, remember that SQL cannot carry out visualizations. It's best for cleaning data and analysis, and it has the capacity to take in a lot of data, large data sets, which is what it has advantage over Excel. But if you want to do your visualizations, you export it and do your visualization in Excel, in Power BI, or in Tableau. So we are going to do just simply click export. Now you're not going to export as XLS because it's going to be limited. You go to select CSV file, then you click OK. When you click OK, you see the file here. If I open this file and I click open, you will discover it opens as a CSV file in Excel. If you want to be sure that it's a CSV file, if you want to be sure that it's a CSV file, you simply come here, click open here, then come here, right click. If you come to open with, yes, you see that you can open it with Excel, you can open it with Notepad, but let me open with Notepad so that you see that it's a comma separated file. You can see now this is your file, Benin, comma, Bank Atlantic, comma, 2013, comma. This is how actually a comma separated value file looks like. So we have come to the end of your data analysis, both your descriptive statistics and using your pivot table in SQL. I hope you have learned a lot from this lesson. My name remains Vincent Hope. Thank you for watching. Do have a blessed day.